Chef, congratulations on the anniversary of our professional career. We invite you to a party in your honor. We are waiting for you on Culinary School Graduates Square. Come as soon as possible. We can't wait to try your famous cakes. With love, the residents of Tasty Hills. Crichton, perfect timing. Grandpa and I are deciding on our food truck menu. Have a look. What do you think? Mashed broccoli and beet jello? Is this some kind of joke, TheLynata? This menu isn't fit for a celebration. I will have to come with you. You really got lucky that I, the culinary king of Tasty Hills, happen to be walking by. The main dish has to be cake. That's not up for discussion. I will show you how to make ganache and decorate cakes like a king. Let's go and decorate cakes like a king. Let's start the first level. Elvi, hello.
Hey,
Crichton was right. The customer wants a cake. Uh, Take the butter for the sponge. Put the butter into the oven. Now we add ganache. The main ingredient is dark chocolate. And then we add the sweet macaroon. And our royal chocolate cake is ready. And this cake is so beautiful. Oh, I forgot for the drinks. Oh. And now meet me at level 5 or 7. We'll see. Hold on a second. What's that sticking out of your pocket? Isn't that a package of store-bought instant ganache? Oh, Crichton. And now level 6. Now we can decorate our cakes with fresh picked berries, and also we have 2 ovens, which is wow, great. And I'm starting to read the stories from the diary. I'm starting where we were last. We read story number 36. Now, starting with 37, it's called Cooking, Tea, and Rock and Roll. Guess what my new favorite band is? The Cook and Rollers. Grump let me listen to his old records, and I was really stunned by their tracks. I have to admit it, those guys really were ahead of their time, and a bunch of their songs have a really modern sound if you play them on our local station Yummy Rock FM. Then I guarantee the listeners would go wild. The whole team listened to their tracks and were so inspired by what they heard that we decided to surprise the old rockers by playing their favorite song, Roll Over Beef Lover. It gave Bobby and Grams a chance to chill out. They'd spent a solid hour racking their brains over who the poisoner and owner of the branded jacket could be. Our performance went down a storm, despite the fact it was kinda original. Our audience loved it, though they sat drinking tea for a long time afterwards, reminiscing about the old days and all the adventures they had. It was so nice that we could distract them from all the negative thoughts about the poisoning. But it's all good. I sense that we are getting close to unmasking the real criminal behind this nasty affair. TheLynata, I tried your macaroons and I have to say I was surprised. They taste just like the ones my mom used to make. I make them using Grandpa's recipe. He said he even put them in his cookbook. Oh? So that's what is it? Apparently my mom makes macaroons using the recipe in Leonard's cookbook. That's too bad. But Crichton, she makes them especially for you. It's not the recipe that's important. It's the love she puts into it. Pink chocolate. Crichton's full of surprises. And now, story number 38. It's called Just a Pinch Will Do. Monsieur Lechant had barely walked through the door when Grams and I started vying with each other to tell him about our new evidence. Monsieur Lechant listened quietly as we laid out all our arguments. I got the feeling that he felt his first sense of relief in a long while when he apologized to Gramps. But then his sentimentality came to a swift end when some new details about this tangled mess came to light. It took an unexpected turn when Monsieur Lechant told us about his kryptonite. Whoever would have thought that this austere, highly composed food critic could be laid to woe by a common bit of a seasoning. I have to give Monsieur Lechant credit where credit's due, though it shows real courage and fearlessness to sample so many dishes every day without any guarantees that they don't contain an ingredient that could make him very sick indeed. He was certainly aggrieved when he left our restaurant, but I had the impression that this was more aimed at the whole dumb situation rather than Grams personally. So then, you want proof, Monsieur Lechant? Well, you get it. The best detective in the whole of Tasty Hill's history has headed off in search of Grandpa's missing friend. And if he could catch Professor Ramioli himself, that legendary fruitster and conman, then it should be a breeze for him to find Roger. And story number 39, it's called Primed for a Prima. Mr. Gradrius has really gotten his teeth into refurbishing Tasty Hills Theatre. There's a lot more work to do, but we're sure that the result will be worth all this effort. Boss decided to name the theater after his aunt, Madeline Gladrius, Tasty Hill's former prima. I can't wait to go to shows at the new theater and see all those talented people Mr. Guadrius has talked about. Bo was most stunned by a troupe of traveling performers that he saw during his recent tour. He talked really passionately about the show they put on and its star, a lovely, mysterious woman in a mask whose dance routine made the biggest impression of all on Mr. Gladrius. He said that she's got a really distinctive style that would fit perfectly with the new theater's artistic concept. Mr. Gladrius also promised to hold a casting competition for a place in the theater's company. And guess where? Right in our restaurant. Tasty Hill's theatrical life is starting to really take off. My mom always supported me in everything I did. It's no surprise I grew up to be a star. Oh, look, a message From my mom! Dear Crichton, I am at the festive square. It's so much fun here. Come join me. Here's an idea. Let's make a one-of-a-kind cake for your mom. We'll add a triple portion of ganache and use a recipe fit for royalty. And now, story number 40, Very Handy Helper. Today, Andy Theorius suggested that I acquire another helper. I can't deny that it all sounded very promising. Mechanical assistant that tripled a chef's work rate. In practice, though, it didn't really work out like that and went totally wild and tried to turn Mr. Theorius' head into a cake. Thank goodness it didn't do. His knitting was a watermelon or a pumpkin. We are lucky that Mr. Theorius was the first person to test Ant out because he knows how to pacify and rock bit of equipment. A couple of swift taps on his remote blocker and the danger was averted. I shudder to think what might have happened if those out of control hands had reached the mass mark. But Andy didn't just ditch his invention and bookshelf somewhere to gather dust. He intends to upgrade those mechanical appendages so that they can become his performance helpers in the future. Very odd. What does that remind me of? Now, story number 41, Conundrum. It's called. I can't believe that Mr. J failed his assignment. Tracking down that old-timer Roger was apparently beyond even the best detective in Tasty Hills. What's even more surprising is that he somehow found out we're searching for him and actually wrote us an angry letter. Mr. Lee is far more prepared than we thought. Now I'm even more keen to find out exactly what led the four of them splitting up. Shish! If they stayed together till now, there's no telling what they might have achieved. They might even have been able to stop Crichton from quitting. It's a shame that his transformation was a sham. I like this nice Crichton. I don't think anything will change that guy now. Maybe the same thing happened with Roger. Well, we'll find out soon enough. Gramps has already written him back. He wrote such a heartfelt, sincere letter, and if that doesn't melt Roger's heart, we've got no hope left. How could such close friends scatter to the four winds? But it's the fourth member of the group that's really interesting. Gramps finally told me about the foursome's most mysterious member, Eustace Frost. He was such a talented chef that he could even give Grandpa a run for his money. I wonder where he is nowadays. And now, story number 42. It's called Tasty Hills Needs Talent. Today's competition revealed many talents, but the evening's real star was a beautiful stranger who turned out to be Uncle Bobby's granddaughter and my old friend Alexandra Calloway, the woman Mr. Guadrius was bending my ear about just recently, the traveling troops dancer. Mr. Guadrius heaped praise on her yet again and has even named her Tasty Hill's next prima. And I have to say, her dancing really was mesmerizing. Such an abundance of complex moves combined with rhythmic foot tapping and hand clapping. The audience watched her spellbound and then gave her a standing ovation when she finished her routine. That dance really inspired me, and I'm going to put twice as much effort into my work from now on. Cooking's as much of an art form as dancing or painting. After all, nothing beats thinking up new recipes, refining old favorites, or trying out new cooking methods. All this talk of cookings make me want to get down to it. I'm off to get creative. The kitchen's waiting. Story number 43. It's called Love Square. There keep being twists in our little romantic series. Looks like Alex Calloway has caused a stir in more than just our culinary capitals, artistic circles. She's also captivated Tasty Hill's young men. Two have been most awestruck, Johnny and Martin. I'm worried in case this turns into justing competition to win Alex's heart, or perhaps Vivian's. The vicissitudes of love. Graham says that Alex has always been charismatic. People have always been drawn to her, so he's not at all surprised by this situation. But I'm just finding it hard to get my head around the idea that Johnny's got eyes for anyone except Vivian. Then again, I can see it from his point of view. Being friend-zoned for so long can make anyone start to think that their romantic quest is totally pointless. But I'm sure that somewhere deep inside, Johnny still loves Vivian just as intensely and will remain true to her. Shh, it's all so romantic. It's a story worthy of becoming a bestseller. Story number 44. Past reminiscences. Apologies, appearances. I have to admit that if Crichton Styles was an actor, he'd be absolutely top of his profession. Holy guacamole, how expressive, such emotion. If his performance on TV affected even us, who know all the ins and outs of his character, then the rest of Tasty Hills is bound to forgive him for his sins. What a pity that it was all just for show, as Crichton himself has admitted. Grams is the only person who hasn't lost faith in him. So much time has passed, but I still don't understand why he doesn't want to accept who Crichton really is. Perhaps I don't know the full story. Say what you like, but Crichton's rating went through the roof again after his TV appearance. Then again, that wasn't the worst thing Crichton's capable of doing. We'd already started thinking that he'd go back to his old ways. But you know what? At one point in his appearance, I had the impression that Crichton was speaking sincerely. Maybe it was just that, an impression, but in any case, there was something genuine in it. Who knows? Perhaps Grams is right after all. And I think for today it's enough for story reading, and we'll continue with the next food truck that we will have. Maybe birthday food truck or some other food truck, but it will be with it. We'll read from story number 45 to who knows? We'll see. The cake came out fantastic, a refined, delicate word of the mother of a king, but there's still something missing. I know it needs a crown. Wait a minute, I will make it out of macaroons. It will be magical. Not bad, TheLynata. I guess you know how to make yourself useful after all. I wonder what I'll think of next. That's why I'll reward you with one more trip with me. No need to thank me. Anyway, I'm off to give my mom the cake. Smell you later. And that was so great birthday food truck, the second birthday food truck. It's amazing. I really like it and I enjoyed. Really was intense. Most of the time, from level 13 to level 20, it was really intense, and I had to repeat it once. But after all, I'm happy that I finished it.
And for me, for now, it's all. Thanks for watching.
Bye.